First and foremost, all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Warakwadash. Peace, blessings, and much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like. Pushing out this purified truth to the rest of the church who believe as well. You men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons, and daughters also. And the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the whole earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be upon thee. So this is personal. The Lord isn't shining his light upon everybody. But if you understand, that's because he's shining his light upon you. He's not worried about the majority of people. The majority of people are in darkness because the Lord is purposely blocking them. Imagine someone playing basketball. Every time they try to do a layup, they getting their shot blocked. Or even better, someone playing basketball that's like 6 or 7 years old with LeBron James. And LeBron James ain't going easy on them. Every time they try to throw up a layup or a three-pointer, they're getting their shots swatted every time. Every time these non-believers even try to understand, the Lord blocks them because it's not up to them. The Lord has a controversy. He has a beef with the majority of individuals, which is causing them to be blocked from this light. That's why they make us enemies to them, because we have the truth and they don't. All right, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 17. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened. So seeing that the world has been covered in great darkness, most people have their understanding darkened. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're constantly being told this truth. Although you constantly reject it, the word, the message is constantly going out. The water is constantly flowing. But you're just totally avoiding the river in general. You want to break, every law that you can just to show that you're not an Israelite. You want to drink from a broken cistern, but you don't want to drink from this cistern. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the power. So if your understanding is darkened, if you're in darkness like the majority of the world, you are alienated from the Lord. You're alienated from the tribes. Typically, you're not even an Israelite. You're looked at as a heathen. Through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart. So our people are blind. They're not able to receive this light. And we tell them, nuclear destruction is coming. The mark of the beast is coming. Esau, Edom, primarily is the so-called white man. Okay? We do all that we can to tell our people the truth, and they do everything that they can to avoid it. But the reason why is because their understanding is being darkened. But we have the light. We have the gift to see. Okay? When you look at these scriptures, these are actually dark sayings. Proverbs chapter 1 and 6. Verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase learning. So if you're watching these videos, you're being edified, you're being built up, well, you're likened unto a wise man who is increasing and learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. And we're giving you wise counsel by speaking the oracles of the Lord. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So in order to understand these dark sayings, you would need the light to see these dark sayings. Everyone doesn't have that light because, again, the world is in gross darkness. This earth is covered in wickedness. People's minds are focused on their own imagination. Okay, but we have the light to see and understand these dark sayings. Okay, to understand a proverb and the interpretation. And not everybody has the interpretation. People in this world believe interpretations up for whatever you want to believe. There is no truth. That's not according to scriptures. Okay? According to the scriptures, there are those who are going to understand the interpretation because there's no private interpretation. Okay? Not when it comes to the true interpretation. The words of the wise and their dark sayings. So these dark sayings in the scriptures would take someone with the light to actually see and understand them. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 23. And he turned him unto his disciples and said privately, Blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. So not everybody has the eyes to see because most people are in darkness. But we have the understanding. We have the ability because it's been given to us. John chapter 12 and verse 36. While ye have light, and this is why we're able to see. We're able to understand these dark sayings because we have the light to see these dark sayings. These words, although, anyone can pick up the Bible and read it, the understanding is actually closed to the majority of people, to most people, and it's only open to the elect. While ye have light, believe in the light, that ye may be the children of light. These things spake Yahushua and departed, and did hide himself from them. So we have the light. Yahushua has given us the light. And that's how we're able to understand these dark sayings, because you need light to see. And seeing that we're in a dark world, we have the light to see out of the darkness. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity and out of darkness. And that's what we're doing. We're seeing out of darkness because most people are blinded. Most people don't have the understanding, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has worked on our minds to see. Let's read this again. Isaiah 29 verse 18. And in that day shall the deaf hear the words of the book, and the eyes of the blind shall see out of obscurity. Let's go into that word obscurity in Hebrews 6:52. The word is Ophel, darkness, gloom, spiritual unreceptivity, calamity. Going down further, dusk, darkness, obscurity, privily. Okay, so we're in some very dark and gloomy times, but we have the light to see out of these times. Okay, and believe me, these times are very, very dark, and that's why we are hated, because the majority of people around us, they can't stand this light. Okay, let's go to the book of John chapter 3 and verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. And see, we have the light. And that's why we're hated. Because most people have evil deeds. Most people aren't right. And when we come around, they know in their spirit that they're not right. Okay, they feel a certain way when a real man comes around. They feel intimidated. They feel insecure. They feel bothered. They feel aggravated. Okay, neither cometh to the light lest his deeds should be reproved. And that's what we do. We rebuke and we reprove our people. This isn't about respecter of persons. This isn't about whether we cool or not. Okay, this is business. This is about right or wrong regardless of who's doing it. And a lot of people, they understand when they come around us, they can't come around us with that fake stuff because they're going to be exposed. Okay, so seeing how those who love evil, those who commit evil hate the light, there's already a division between light and darkness. And most of our people are in a deep sleep, and talking to them about this ministry is like waking them from a deep sleep. Imagine someone having good sleep. They having a dream about popping some beautiful woman, and right when they about to get it in, you wake them up. That's how people treat us when we bring them this word. Let's go to Sirach chapter 22 and verse 11. Weep for the dead, for he hath lost the light, and weep for the fool, for he wanteth understanding. Make little weeping for the dead, for he is at rest, but the life of a fool is worse than death. 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead, but for a fool and an ungodly man all the days of his life. That's not the scripture I wanted. I think it's in 13. Talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. So there's no need to talk with the fool, because they don't have the understanding. All that's going to be is troublesome. It's going to be irritating and vexing to our spirit. Okay? What is heavier than lead, and what is the name thereof, but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. As timber girt and bound together in a building cannot be loosed with shaking, so the heart that is established by a wise counsel shall not fear at no time. A heart settled upon a thought of understanding is as a fair plastering on the wall of a gallery. So as I'm reading, I'm not finding what I'm looking for, but all this is still good. Okay? Basically just going into how, wasting your time with the fool is burdensome. Nothing but trouble comes from that. It's a waste of time. Okay? But those of us who have this truth, who have this understanding, okay, that's because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua has opened up our minds to it. Alright? Man, I wish I could find this scripture though. Let me go back. Let me see. Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. I found it. So this is Sirach chapter 22 and verse 7. Whoso teacheth a fool is as one that glueth a potsherd together, and as he that waketh one from a sound sleep. So telling, our idiotic people about this truth is like waking them from a good sleep. Here it is, they're having a dream about getting it in with the most beautiful woman they've ever seen, and right when they're about to have a so-called wet dream, you wake them up out the dream. They looking at you like, man, why'd you wake me up, man? I was just about to do my thing with this fine-ass woman. You gonna wake me up? That's how people treat us when we try to wake them up from the sleep that they're in, by giving them this truth for free, which has been given to us for free, but you still have to pay with your time. Okay? He that telleth a tale to a fool speaketh to one in a slumber. So here it is, you telling a story, you all into it, right? But this dude falling asleep on you. You're not even listening to the story. Well, that's likened unto one who rejects his word. Okay? People are in a deep sleep. They're in darkness. When he hath told his tale, he will say, what is the matter? So here it is, you crying your heart out. You going into, what you went through as a child. Here it is, you telling some of your darkest secrets, trying to be an example. And at the end of your story, he looking at you like, why you crying for, man? What's the problem? And you looking at him like, nigga, I just cried my heart out to you. I just told you my whole life. And he's like, oh, my bad. That's like talking to a fool. It's a waste of time, man. Okay? But thank Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that we have the understanding. Okay? Most people, they're not able to jump over the hurdle that, most people are just not able to receive this. That alone offends people. Alright? Let's close it with this. I want to say it's 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse, let me see. Yep, 2 Peter 3 and 16. As also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood. And a lot of people, They have a hard time trying to understand what we're telling them. Even breaking it down, people don't understand, let alone just picking up the Bible on their own. Okay? Which are at some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction. Okay, so if you have a problem with these scriptures, you feel like, oh, this doesn't sound right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrestle with this scripture. I don't agree with that. Well, it's to your own destruction, man. You don't understand that America is going to be destroyed. You don't understand that the mark of the beast is coming soon. You don't understand that this is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. You want to try to find loopholes around that? Well, it's to your own destruction, okay? But those of us who have the light, who have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we're able to see out of this dark world that we're currently in, man. And it's just likened unto a rescue team. You know, they're searching for those who are lost. And then in the distance, you see those with flashlights talking about, over here, come get us. Well, that's how it's going to be when Yahweh Shai gets his elect. He's going to deliver his elect, those who have the light, from a dark place, man. So, Kah Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Warakak. Lord willing, this lesson, it was simple and edifying. Until next time, Shalom, I'm out.